Hey, you ready for a story? Moon's out. Matt Jones, let's go. So here we are in Gungnam, heading up to the BTS bus stop. BTS playing a song now, Dynamite. Dynamite and Fire, two songs that bookend Spring Day. This video essay has a thesis that the motif of a tree is instrumental in holding witness to trauma experienced by the national psyche so as to understand that which might be impossible to heal. I make an argument that trees holding witness defy the male gaze. It might be seen through an ecofeminist lens beyond normative patriarchal experience. Inside the trees are the rings of memory. They hold this witness, they remember, they absorb the pain and loss, and in doing so, it is an act of restorative justice. And so this is the BTS bus stop. I'm here to talk about that song, Spring Day, and the use of trees, the motif of a tree. I think it holds witness to the experience of trauma. I want to just talk about Hungung, vegetarian. The protagonist turns into a plant, a tree, and in Human Acts, trees are seen holding witness to the assembly of bodies in the square around Gwangju University. Her acceptance speech for the 2024 Nobel Literature Prize, she talked about the possible task of the question, can the living save the dead? And this question of holding witness, where she references trees. In their songs, Dynamite and Fire, songs about the freedom of the individual outside of the normative culture, which is a bit of a straitjacket, this Confucianist ideal, which puts so much pressure on the national psyche. Spring Day presents itself outside of the heteronormative culture. It's almost like a queer anthem to celebrate the fact that love exists outside of this closeted environment. That itself is another form of trauma experienced by many here in Korea. Spring Day concludes with a promise to remove this endless winter of pain and loss, which is witnessed by the tree as an act toward healing. Defensive works remind us of the seriousness of the situation South Korea faces. My favourite K-drama, it's a comedy called Purom Gaetop, Blue Tower, which parodies the experience of conscripts because of the divided peninsula. This effect of trauma on the national psyche turns it into humour. Park Jung-wook's JSA captures something of this in an opening scene at the base of a tree where an American sergeant was hacked to death by a North Korean with an axe, are told that the forest is ready to be ablaze because of the tension in the area. Lee Chan-dong's earlier movie, Peppermint Candy, also speaks to the intense trauma faced by individuals because of circumstances visited upon them by the state. In this case, the oppression of the national psyche and how that affects the individual. The opening and ending scene shows the petals falling from these trees, holding witness to the trauma experienced by the protagonist. While JSA and Peppermint Candy are fascinating stories, real life is far more intriguing. And in 1996, a North Korean submarine was beached just near here in Jeondeunjin. 24 of the crew left the submarine, all but one were killed, one was taken prisoner, and 13 South Korean soldiers were killed in the process of trying to recover them. This type of incident etches deep trauma upon the national psyche. BTS weren't making a statement about North Korea. They were, I believe, making an appeal for action in response to the Sewol incident, where hundreds of school children died. The trauma that this etched upon a generation is significant. The centrality of the tree at the end of BTS Spring Day clip points to a theme that runs through the video, which is about the book, The Ones That Walk Away, from Amelia's. And in essence, the tree is instrumental in enabling those in the BTS clip, the band members, to actually walk away from the things that cause trauma. They decided to be the people to walk away from a systemically flawed city and not accept a social contract that buys into something that is rotten and corrupt. And so what are we left with? This motif of a tree holding witness to incidents of trauma that shape the national psyche of Korea in such a way as to make a promise toward healing.